Am I on? Am I on? Am I on? Can you hear me? Yellow. There we are. Man, see if I can. There, is that better? Is that mo better? How y'all doing? Can everybody? Hello, Pat. Pat in Japan. And Tracy from Minnesota, if I remember. And Marina. I know where she is. How y'all are? Good to see you. Good to see you. Man, I've been running today. My goodness. I actually just got up from a nap, which I really needed. So I'm a little groggy, but I'm here. Everybody okay? Pat in Japan. Wow. Pretty cool, man. Hello, Swelling. Y'all want me to read you a story? Just kidding. Everybody catch the Playhouse last Saturday? That was a fun one. All right. Let's see what's going on here. I've been looking at some things in the news, and we have. Let me ask you a question. Yeah, yesterday. Let me know if I go to another page here. Can you still see me? If I go to another page like that, can you guys still see me, even though I can't see the screen? Does it? If that makes sense? You can still see me. Okay, good. Yeah, Sam did increase his discount. Sam's a good guy, and he's really. I haven't told you, but he's having to move his business because he lost his lease or something. But he's still working, and he could use support. If you guys could think about helping him out with the order or something, I'm sure that'd make his day. I read, as you know, we have. Let me talk about this a few minutes if I can. We've got an absolute fiasco right now in the House of Representatives. We're trying to get a new Speaker of the House, and they booted out McCarthy, and then they tried to elect who was it before? Wasn't there somebody before Jordan? There was McCarthy, and then there was Jordan. Now I'm drawing a blank. Um, anyway, they finally got to Jordan, and then Jordan couldn't get the votes to get elected, and so McHenry, who's the pro tempore, I believe, Scalise. There you go. Thank you, Missy. Thank you. So now they're in recess again. So I just read that they've got 9 different candidates now for Speaker of the House. Tom Emmer, Mike Johnson, Kevin Hern of Oklahoma, Byron Donalds of Florida, Austin Scott of Georgia, Jack Bergman of Michigan, Pete Sessions of Texas, Gary Palmer of Alabama. He's a good guy, actually, and Dan Muser of Pennsylvania. Palmer's a new entry. He would actually be pretty good, but it's kind of crazy. I can never remember, at least in my lifetime, where we've had a situation like this where we can't get a Speaker of the House elected. And bear in mind that nothing gets done in the House until they have a Speaker. As far as I know, they do have somebody who's kind of filling the chair, but I don't think they pass any meaningful legislation until they get a Speaker. Oh, like this video, guys, if you will, until they get a Speaker in place. And but bear in mind that in a couple of weeks ago they passed this continuing resolution to keep the government in business, right? Well, they can't do that again without a Speaker in place, and that resolution is going to end in a month, and so I mean it's conceivable. And you know what happens if they don't vote for a continuing resolution? They have a government shutdown. So it's just absolute chaos in the House right now because we have no Speaker. And if we don't get a Speaker within a month, there's going to be no way to vote for another continuing resolution or whatever. To me, it's just like the Keystone Cops. But not having a Speaker of the House to me is wonderful because it's just nothing but gridlock. They can't do anything without a Speaker. So I don't know how that's going to resolve itself because, if you get Jim Jordan, I thought would have been a pretty good Speaker, but, you had those 10 or 12 holdouts that just would not vote for him for whatever reason. Then you got 10 or 12 holdouts who put McCarthy out of business in the first place. So I don't know how anybody's going to get all the votes that are needed to get the chair. I don't know how that's going to resolve itself, but in the meantime, we have no Speaker and nothing of substance can be passed, which is kind of cool. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Hello to everybody. I think I said Pat, Missy, Swellen, Tracy. I know from Minnesota. Robert, welcome, Robert. Forgive me if I missed your name. Yeah, that's true. I hate to be a downer. I really don't want to be, but I'm just trying to cover stuff that's in the news. As all of you know, of course, about the big war in Israel. This all started, of course, a week or so ago when the rockets came from Hamas into Israel, and now Israel has responded by sending rockets into Gaza and into Gaza, and now it's pretty much a hot war, and we're just hoping that other nations don't get involved. But there's so many hot spots around the world. But kind of related to that, there was a woman in Michigan, um, by the name of. Hang on, bear with me just a minute. There was a woman in Michigan by the name of Samantha Wall, Woll, and she was the president of the Detroit synagogue, and she was stabbed to death yesterday afternoon. And this part of Michigan where she is has a very large Muslim population, and she was stabbed to death, evidently at the synagogue. Unfortunately for this woman, not only did she die, but before she died, her congressperson was Rashida Tlaib, one of the Muslim members of Congress, who has said absolutely nothing about this stabbing as of airtime, which is just crazy when you stop and think about it. But I've said a lot about this war in Israel and Gaza. But if you're watching me, and unless you're in Israel or Gaza, I think it's important to remember that what our president evidently can't remember, which is this is really not our war. We'd be a lot better off if we just let them fight it out. But if you're in the U.S., this just isn't our war. I mean, it just isn't. You've got so much of this is religious based. Not many people talk about that, but in that section of the world, that part of the world, you've got uh, Jews and Muslims and Christians, and this is basically a Jewish Muslim war when you come right down to it. So I don't have a dog in the hunt one way or another. The bad thing about it is there's so many peripheral things going on, and we've got this lunatic at the helm of our country right now, and we're in perilous times. Pardon me, with this guy in charge. I mean, yesterday somewhere he compared Putin to Hamas. That went over really well. And then today we've got evidently China, not China. Let's see, is it China or oh, I had this set aside. I wanted to talk about it. Evidently, China has somebody hit a ship, and I had this set aside. Here it is. Uh, there was a collision in near the Philippines yesterday. It involved Chinese and Philippine vessels in the West Philippine Sea. And so now we've got this. I mean, we've got stuff breaking out all over. Russia's mad at us, China's mad at us, and Putin and Biden just keeps putting his foot in his mouth. And all this guy knows how to do is spend money. He just spend money and make war. It's like nothing I've ever seen, and I hope we never see again. I just cannot wait until we are shod of this man. Did you see who has not ruled out a run for the presidency? That would be good old Liz Cheney. She hasn't said she's running, but she was asked whether she's going to run, and she did not say no. So that's interesting. All right, let's see if I can get. China has 6 warships in the Mediterranean. Lord have mercy. Yeah, these are some interesting times we live in. Interesting times. Hopefully we can get a collective grip here and come to our senses before it's too late. I don't know. If you guys are on X or Twitter, I'm on there. I am at Trailer Trash Tim at hang on at official TTT if you want to follow me on X. And so I post over there a good bit. I really prefer X to Facebook, which I just not into anymore. I just don't. I got banned and warned and booted so many times from Facebook. I finally just said to heck with it. Who needs it? I prefer Mr. Musk to Mr. Zuckerberg. All right, let's see what else is going on. I was going to talk about something if I can find it. There was a man who was inside a department store yesterday, and he was pretending to be a mannequin. And he waited until the store was closed, and then the mannequin came to life and ripped the store off. I was in, I was in David in Wyoming. Hello, David. Here in Wyoming, our governor wants all the citizens to be armed. I like your governor, whoever he is. Maybe we should all move to Wyoming. I was about to say something. Oh, have you guys ever seen these people who dress up like I don't know how they do it. They dress up like statues of like famous people, and they look like statues, and they'll be like a shopping and entertainment district somewhere, and you think they're like statues, but people will walk by them, and all of a sudden they'll start moving. Mimes, yeah. I kind of this story kind of reminded me of this. This guy went into the store somewhere. I don't know where it was, and he modeled as if he were a mannequin, and he waited until the store closed, and then the mannequin came to life and ripped him off. Wow. Oh, George Galloway's great. I enjoy. I don't know who all you guys watch besides me, but yeah, I like George Galloway a lot. And of course, I listen to the Alex and Alexander with the Duran. They both have their own channels as well. I like Judge Napolitano a good bit. So there's some good sources out there. No question. That's right, David. Viva, yeah, Viva's a hoot, isn't he? I'm jealous of his hair because I ain't got none. I ain't got enough anyway. Viva is good. Robert Barnes is good. I listen to Mark Gruber a good bit and Eric Hunley. I don't always agree with Gruber, but he's real quick to block you on Twitter, so I haven't engaged him. uh, yeah, he had some imagination. I don't have the mind of a criminal. I couldn't think of stuff like this. This stuff would never occur to me. You know, I would make a terrible criminal. I'm not creative enough, or I don't get these people. I don't get shoplifters. I don't get people who go into a Walmart, and I've seen it time after time with my own eyes. People just going in there in sweatpants and stuffing them full of meat and all kinds of stuff. I don't get that. I've always thought, you know, if I was going to be a thief, I would make it worth my while. It'd be a Brinks truck or something. I mean, if you're going to do it, I wouldn't be shoplifting T-bones or anything. So I don't know. I went to Costco yesterday. I don't know how many of you are Costco members, but did you know at Costco you can buy gold bars now? They don't have them out on an end cap. I don't know where they are, but you can buy gold bars at Costco now, which is pretty cool, I think. If you're asking me a question, I'm not. I need. I guess I need to get I would do a moderator just so they could tell me who's saying what that I won't miss it, but I don't know how to do that yet. Um, let's see. Costco is great though. I love buying in bulk. I'll buy a couple of big bags of coffee, big hunks of cheese, meat. We buy our meat there usually. No, I buy my meat from Sam's, but Sam doesn't carry ground beef, and I buy like these big packages of ground beef at Costco. But yeah, Sam's ribs are the bomb, man. They are the absolute best things. Gold is in the frozen asset section. Okay, that makes sense. The one place I didn't look. Oh Lord, yeah. I Gold would probably be a really good thing to own right now if you are. I started to say if you're an American, but it probably doesn't matter where you are. This would probably be a good time to own gold and whiskey, tobacco, toilet paper. Um, that kind of stuff is money, you know. If it hits the fan, uh, cash may not be king. I don't know. Ammo, Robert. That's right, ammo. So yeah, maybe we should go to Japan where Pat is. Maybe it's not so crazy over there. I don't know. Although I remember their prime minister was assassinated a few years back. Abe, I believe his name was. I grind my own coffee. I buy bags of coffee beans, big bags of coffee. Like I guess they're a pound of coffee beans from Costco, and my coffee maker has a grinder attachment, and I drink a lot of coffee. So I use beans and I grind it fresh every morning. I drink at least a pot a day. sometimes a pot and a half or maybe more. Um, Green coffee, I've never had that. Pat is right. A good skill cannot be taken away. Yeah, the more skills you have, um, that's a good idea. If I could talk to young people today that are maybe graduating high school and they're trying to decide whether they want to go to college or they want to go to trade school, I would tell them trade school all day long. Go to trade school and get a skill, at least one. Go learn how to be a plumber. Go learn how to be an electrician. Don't go to college unless you want to be like a medical doctor or an attorney or something like that. Go to trade school, get a skill, go get your CDL. You'll almost always have work. Uh, Uruguay, is it Uruguay or Uruguay? 3 pound bags of coffee. Do you ever put butter in you? Do I ever put butter in your coffee? I have put butter in my coffee. I don't much anymore. I love butter and I love coffee, but don't. I'm kind of picky about my coffee. I put a little dribble of cream in my coffee, and that's it. And I stopped this morning. I had to go do some work, and I stopped at a Buc-ee's. Anybody know what a Buc-ee's is? Buc-ee's is this gigantic gas station. It's probably the biggest in the world. They've got like 100 pumps, 100 and something pumps. And I stopped there and got another cup of coffee this morning. They got pretty good coffee. So Buc-ee's is terrific. It's huge. If you ever get a chance to go to a Buc-ee's, it's something. They're like the size of a. They're not as big as a Walmart, but they're pretty big. If you ever get a chance to go to one. Marina puts butter and coconut oil in her coffee. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I don't know what a CNC machine is, Tracy, but trade school's where it's at, man. Keith is a retired 26-year-old railroader. You go, dog. I'm impressed. You're 26 and retired, and I'm 62 and still hoofing it every day. What's up with that, man? What's up with that? Yes, on the Duran, you have some of the most conservative people in the world. Yeah, those are good guys. I really think a lot of Alex and Alexander. They're good guys. Yeah, I would tell young people go to trade school. Avoid that avoid those college loans that you may never pay back. If you got to if you got to float a loan from the government, that's the last thing I would do. If I was a young fella again, just graduating high school, man, I'd probably just go get a CDL at least, and then maybe go to trade school and get a trade to be electrician or plumber or something like that. I'm telling you, you'd be ahead of the game if you did that. You'd be ahead of the game. Keith is 60. Oh, 26 years working, Keith. Okay. Thought he said he was retired at 26. I was like, wow, I'm impressed. Okay. Jorge, welcome, Jorge, from Portugal. Yeah, a lot of people put butter in their coffee. That's like a thing. A lot of people do that. I think that it's butter is good for you. Since I've gone carnivore, you kind of learn what's really good for you. What we've been told all these years is simply wrong. We were always taught to avoid butter. When I was growing up, my mother would use margarine because she would say, "Well, butter's bad for you," but that's what she knew. That's what she understood. Butter is good for you. Butter is a good fat. Margarine is terrible. Meat is good for you, and so much of the stuff in the grocery store is just junk, cereals and sugars and processed food. But butter is good. A lot of people put butter in their coffee. Um, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that besides being good for you, I think butter, if I understand it, I think it suppresses your appetite somewhat. I think that's kind of another benefit of it. If you put butter in your coffee, it'll suppress your appetite. Let me see if I can get caught up. Um, computer numerical control machines. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, Tracy, that's what Tracy does. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Tracy's up in Minnesota, home of the Golden Gophers. We're gonna get Tracy down here to Alabama sooner or later. See how she likes it. Marina puts chocolate in her coffee. Miss me with it. Did hair for 13 years, then learned how to weld. Very good. That's excellent. I know a guy who learned to weld. Yeah, that's great. Butter works against cavities. I did not know that. Blinken selling adult. Oh man. Elk steak. I've never had elk. I'd love to try it. I would love to try elk. I have had of course venison, which is deer. I've had I've had bear, believe it or not, and it was actually pretty good. Tracy is the boss of CNC people. Well, good deal, Tracy. That's awesome. After 2 minutes, cancer tumor registrar. Wow, that's interesting. Um, but yeah, I've never had elk. I've never had. I don't think I've had bison. I could be wrong about that, but if I have, I don't remember it. But I had there was a place out in Texas where they have uh, exotic animals and people hunt like African animals on a huge ranch out there. And I know a guy that went out there and he shot a. It's called an oryx. I guess it's kind of like a deer, but it's from Africa. Delicious. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'd like to go to elk. Somebody here in the chat is from Wyoming. I really want to go to Wyoming. Maybe they could serve me an elk burger. I know a bison in Wyoming. Um, I may have had bison, but if I have, I don't remember it. I don't remember having bison. Yeah, that's why I wear hats. I ain't got much. I did a on the skit Saturday. I didn't have my hat on. Believe it or not, I used to be a pretty hairy dude, and but man, it's checking out of my head like it's a cheap hotel up there. Pat is gardening. Wonderful, Pat. Ostrich. I've not tried ostrich. I have heard that. I'll tell you something else I've not tried, but it's off the cow. Uh, I've heard that beef tongue, if it's prepared correctly, is just like pot roast. I've never had tongue, but I bet it's really. I'm sure it's good for you. You know, organ meat is good for you. It really is. Liver is really good for you. Let me see what else is going on. I can bloviate about. I mean, we're in such dangerous times, and we have such incompetent leadership. That's the scary part of it all. According to the Gateway pundit, China has deployed six warships to the Middle East. So China is getting involved in the Middle East, deploying six warships. We're involved in the Middle East with our warships, and we're not exactly allies with China. So this thing could get hairy really quickly. Oh my goodness. This is not good. This is not good. But I mean, I just hate to imagine things getting hairier with Biden in the White House. I just can't imagine it. Okay, let me see if I can get caught up. Grass to the growing business. End times, Juden. I don't know. I don't know, Swelling. I have no idea. I don't know. Let's see here. I had something else I wanted to. Mike Pence's window is rapidly closing. How many people can Mike Pence get to a rally? 3, 4? I said that Mike Pence reminds me of a funeral director. I mean, this guy has no chance to be elected president, and I think he probably knows it. And I've said before that some of these people that have no chance of winning, they get in here to raise their own name recognition or their brand, if you will, or to just make money because they do get donors. But some of these people know they got no chance of winning. Like Chris Christie, he knows he's not going to win. Pence knows he's not going to win. Tim Scott knows he's not going to win. But there's big money running in politics. That's what is going on with that. All right, where are we here? I don't know. I don't know who China would align with, but like I said, this war is basically between Jews and Muslims when you come right down to it. But it's just not our war. I wish we would just mind our own business and get out of there. My goodness. Let's see what else is going on. The Pentagon has activated the deployment of defense systems throughout the Middle East. That's a developing story. Oh my goodness. The USA is trying to delay Israel from a ground incursion into Gaza. I don't know why. I haven't mentioned this on the show during the week because I didn't know if it were true or not, but apparently it is that Israel has fired rockets at a Orthodox church in Gaza. That's true after all. It's like the third oldest church in the world, and they've sent bombs. I don't know how much damage was done, but there were casualties. I know that. So that's pitiful. Israel warns, a banner headline: Hamas chemical weapons strike the head of the. If Iran gets involved in this thing, it's just a whole new ball game. And Ron DeSantis, I forgot to mention. I don't think DeSantis has a snowball's chance in hell. Meryl Streep is getting a divorce. Any Meryl Streep fans? Meryl Streep has been married to the same man for 45 years, and she said, I've had enough. She's calling it quits. Wow. 45 years. Don't you think you could just ride it out? I mean, come on, man. I guess Pence, I was joking a minute ago that Pence couldn't get a crowd of 3 people. Literally, the headline says that he could not get a crowd of 15 people at his last. That's embarrassing, man. I think if I announced to run for president, I don't know how many we got watching, but I may have 15 in here. I don't know. How many people we got? Does it say? Does it say how many people are here? Marina? Marina! Okay, 21. We got 21. Really? So we've got more money. We got more people for our event than Pence had for his event, like by 6. So if I were running for president, I've got a bigger crowd than Mike Pence has got, and he's a former vice president. How about it? Should I run? Will all of you contribute to my pack? I mean, it's got to be big money. I'm talking like millions. I don't know piddling amount. If y'all want to chip in like $1 million here and $1 million there, maybe I'll think about running myself. But it's got to be. We got to do some serious money here. I would last as president about 5 minutes. I'm telling you, the Secret Service would have a workout with me. Believe me, if I'd have to have Secret Service protection just go to the bathroom. Probably, I probably couldn't never leave the White House. I'd get JFK'd within the first week, probably. This guy that I talked about recently in Argentina is, I think that they are. His name is what is his name? Javier Milei, and they're voting today in Argentina, and this guy's excellent. That's some good news. Argentina is about to elect apparently a guy who is he's a devotee of Ludwig von Mises, if you know who that is, the famous economist. He likes Trump. He brands himself as a libertarian, and he's apparently going to be the next president of Argentina. So that's a big shift right there, away from whoever they had. And also, I don't know if any of you are in New Zealand, but New Zealand just elected a whole new government that is apparently far right to the far left one that they had. So high five to New Zealand. Andrea is going to write me a rubber check. Well, Andrea, that's, I appreciate that. I'll take it to the rubber bank. Okay. I'm trying to. Argentina joins BRICS. I didn't even think about that. BRICS is kind of an alternative to NATO in a sense. NATO is more of a military organization. BRICS is more of an economic organization. I did a video on that a few weeks back. And, the dollar has been the reserve currency of the world for long as I've been alive. And before that, BRICS is, I think it's Brazil, Russia, India, and China basically forming an alliance. Those are the main players as an alternative to those nations who use the dollar as a reserve currency and as a new team of economic playing partners. That's a lot of clout. I mean, that's a game changer. Our leaders in the West, I'm talking about people like Biden, and I'm talking about I can't remember the guy's name who's the prime minister now in the UK. He's got a funny name. I just saw it a while ago. And Merkel in Germany, and Macron in France. These people are so short-sighted. Trudeau in Canada, they're so short-sighted. They're not looking ahead at all. They're so present-oriented, and they're not looking at the horizon to see what's on the horizon. Obviously, this is true of Biden. If Biden could understand how dangerous these times are, he would back us away from Ukraine and Israel, that situation. But he's so in the moment. And this guy, if you thought Obama spent money like a drunken sailor, Biden is like Obama on crack as far as spending money goes. Money we don't have, of course. Trump was no conservative. Trump spent money wildly too, but Biden beats them all. This guy, I mean, every time you turn around, it's another trillion of indebtedness. Yes, Rishi. Thank you, Missy. Rishi, that's his name. Yeah, Keith, Russia ain't playing. I would not want to tangle with Russia. I really wouldn't. It is so aggravating to me that so many Americans, and including me, were raised with such an anti-Russian sentiment. because back in the day, of course, it was the Soviet Union, and a lot of that was justified because it was a communist country. But that has changed. I mean, in 1991, the old Soviet Union fell, and basically Russia was reborn. And I have maintained, I told this guys on the Duran that we had a perfect chance to hit the reset button and, try and work for a more peaceful coexistence with Russia. But we're just right back at each other's throats again. And it's a shame because it did not have to be this way. Let's see. Tracy says the ruble is equal to us now. I didn't know that. I'm not surprised by that. I didn't know it though. I know some. I know some people who. Any of you guys into crypto? I'm not. I dabbled in it for a while, but I just couldn't get into it. I know some people that are into it. I'm kind of skittish about crypto. I think the problem. I don't really understand it enough to. If I don't understand something well enough, then I'm afraid I'd get eaten alive. But I know people that are in it, and I know other people who trade in currencies. Um, I know one fella who owns some Iraqi dinars. What he plans to do with them, I do not know. Pat, that is correct. I think that Putin, a lot of people misinterpret Putin. A lot of people say he's just an old KGB man. Putin was never in the KGB. A lot of people don't know that. Um, I'm not saying Putin's perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination. But let's say you had no country at all. You weren't from any particular country, and today you get to pick your country and you get to pick your president, and you get to pick one of two men to be your president, Putin or Biden. Who are you going to pick? Think about it. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I stayed away from it as well. Andrea, I think you're largely right. I think he was like some kind of an analyst, but he wasn't like a KGB agent or anything. He was on the bureaucratic. Pat, you're right about that. I'm sorry if I misspoke. Um, yeah, yeah. He's not perfect. I'm not saying that, but I'll tell you what. I just about anybody would be better than what we've got. How on earth we have wound up with this guy as our president? It's just pitiful. I just can't believe where we are as a nation. But here we are. Mineral resource management. He really drove a taxi. Putin drove a taxi. I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's a really pretty day. It got almost up to 80 degrees today here in Alabama. I can't believe it. Last week it was cold, man. Not not Tracy, Minnesota cold, but Alabama cold. Yes, it's like it almost hit 80 today. It's supposed to be warm again tomorrow. So I can dig it. But it's probably going to turn cold before too long. I just hope we don't have a really cold winter. Pat, if you're talking about Putin, you're right. I'll tell you what, I have read several of Putin's speeches. I can't find much to disagree with the guy about. It's just a shame that he's shut out by the American media. If the American people could just take a moment and read speeches Putin gives, they might be surprised at how much they agree with this guy. Um, yeah, it surprises me too, Missy. Robert chainsawed some dry trees ready for the cold. Yeah, we bought some firewood about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I guess we're ready. I hope it's enough to get us through the winter. Yeah. I talked was it Friday that I talked about I think it was Friday in Friday's show I talked about this Axios poll that shows Trump just absolutely beating Biden handily in the next election, if that's what it comes down to. But, who knows what's going to happen. And it also assumes that we'll have a fair election, as we did not last time, but we shall see. Pat understands Russian. I've been thinking from time to time about learning another language, and if I did, it would either be Spanish or Russian. Spanish would be handy because we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people in America. But I would like to learn Russian too, and I've heard about this app called Babbel. I've looked into that. It'd just be fun to learn another language, I think. Of course, Marina says I need to learn English first. So there you go. Everybody's a comedian, right? My Spanish is easier. Yeah. Supper is smelling good. Good, because I'm getting hungry. Baytown, thank you for subbing. I appreciate you. You're correct. Putin is the adult in the room. Yeah, the Duran guys are fantastic. If you guys don't watch the Duran, check them out. And also Alex Christoforou and Alexander Mercurus, they both have their own channels as well. These guys have a lot of content. I mean, you could spend a lot of your day just watching their content. But I know Alex Christoforou, he'll get on every day on his channel and just riff for like 45 minutes walking around whatever town he's in, and he is excellent. Nice guys too, really nice. They treated me really well when I went on their show, and they said they want to have me back. How about that? So I don't know when. We'll see. Putin has to keep a cool head. Yes, he does. We keep poking the bear for no reason. That's what gets me about all this, For no reason. We just keep provoking Russia, and there's no reason. I mean, if you're going to get involved in a war or a conflict, it needs to have something to do with your vital national interest. Ukraine has nothing to do with the United States' vital national interest. Nothing. Neither does Israel, quite frankly, or Palestine. I mean, that's their war. Let them fight it. We've got our own invasion, as I point out all the time. You guys probably get sick of me talking about it, but it's the truth. We're being invaded every day on our southern border. That's our war, and we're not doing a blooming thing about it with this guy in the White House. New Atlas is good. Yeah, I've watched New Atlas. Pat, yeah, Alex is really good. Pat watches. Pat learned Thai and Indonesian. Wow, Pat! Look at Pat speaking 4 languages that we know of. Wow, I speak a little bit of English and Southern redneck. I speak enough English that Tracy up in Minnesota could probably understand me if I went up there. Robert, you just nailed it, my friend. Ukraine is vital to the swamp's financial interest. Ding, 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 ding. That's exactly right. That is why we're involved. Ukraine is just the biggest cesspool in the world, maybe surpassed only by Washington, D.C. But I'm kind of liking the fact we don't have a Speaker of the House because that means gridlock, and I'm all for that. We got how many? Am I reading this right? 27 people in here. That's fantastic. Are all you guys subscribed to the channel? I need subscribers. I hate to tell you this. We worked hard to put that Playhouse up on Saturday, and I thought it was pretty good. And I got to looking at blooming channel analytics after that, and I lost like 5 subscribers. I said, what the heck, man? I put up that content and I lose people. What's up with that? So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel now. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe later. But anyway, yeah, gridlock is great. Yeah, did you yeah, if you haven't caught the Playhouse from Saturday, check that out. That was pretty good. That was fun. That was fun to do. Somebody told me somebody commented and said that I made a really funny old woman singing a song, and I thought I wasn't a woman. How many women have a goatee? But anyway, Pat studied linguistics before coming to Japan. Okay, yeah, I think Pat's originally from the States, um, so that's cool. Yeah, that's great. Learning more than one language would look good on your resume. Really would. Utah, yeah. Yeah, Utah. That's right. Pretty state, Utah. By the way, Romney's out. Senator Romney is not running for reelection. I suspect he's not running for reelection because he may have seen the handwriting on the wall that he wasn't going to win reelection. So he decided to quit. I don't know that's the case, but I suspect that's the case. But I am happy to be rid of Mitt Romney. You can just go right off into the sunset, buddy, because you weren't much help at all. People like Mitt Romney and the late John McCain and Liz Cheney, these are rhinos we can do without. Yeah, yeah, even his fellow Mormons don't like him. I know. He's not really from Utah, you know. I think he was governor of Massachusetts. I think he was originally from Michigan. I know his father was governor of Michigan, George Romney. His father ran for president, I think, in '68 when Nixon got it. But yeah, he was. John, I think is correct. I think I read something about Romney's son. I saw something the other day where somebody had asked Romney about Burisma and Hunter Biden, and he said something like, "I've never heard of Burisma," and this guy was voting to impeach Trump. It's like, dude, are you serious? You never heard of it? You're either really ignorant or you're lying. And I remember Rush Limbaugh used to praise Romney and saying he's just one of the greatest men you'll ever meet. But man, the gloves finally came off, didn't they? A lot of girls in California have goatees. Yeah, a lot of grifting in Ukraine. A lot of grifting in Ukraine. All right. 29 people. All you guys make sure to get off I started to say something almost vulgar. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Right down below. I was watching Mark Gruber the other day on the America's Untold Stories channel. He was saying he was he was saying, "You people get off your fat asses and subscribe." He was coming at them. I won't be quite so blunt with you all, but yeah. Got a big week coming up, a lot to talk about. And I got a lot of work to do too. This is my high time of the year as far as work goes. Let's see if I can find out what else might be going on here. Israel threatens to cut off the head of the snake, threatens to wipe Iran and Lebanon off the face of the earth. Whoo boy. Is Michael in here? Michael Z? Saw he just I think Tracy is following me on X. I saw that the other day. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. I found some funny stuff that I reposted. Uh All right. Yeah, it's reported by Simon Ateba is a pretty good reporter. He says the U.S. has warned China about their incursion into the Philippine Sea. I doubt China's put off by our warnings, quite frankly. My goodness, what day? What days we live in, man? Hello, Michael. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, swelling. I loved Rush. He was. I did, sometimes I would be screaming at him because sometimes he'd say stuff I just didn't agree with, and but he was a good man, and he was a heck of an entertainer. I mean, he was really good at what he did. He had days where he would go for 3 hours without taking a call. He would just crack for 3 hours. That that takes a lot of talent. Let me tell you, I dropped my phone. So he was a talented man for sure. I could crack for about a half an hour as I do regularly. I don't know if I could go for 3 hours. I don't know. Yes, he made your commute worthwhile. Yeah. Kiki, where is Kiki? Kiki! I don't know why I called her. She never comes when I call her. She's probably wherever she is. She's sleeping. I can pretty much guarantee she's either sleeping or eating. Hold on, just a minute. Kiki, she must be inside. I finally got her to eat wet food the other day. Kiki is doing great. She's getting fat. She would never eat like fancy feast or whatever. She would just eat meow mix. That's all she ever wanted to eat. I got her some of these push up things. I don't know. I don't know what the Temptations I think they're called, just to try it and see if she'd like it. And it was like salmon, the push ups, and man, she ate that stuff up. She loves them. Then I tried a little can of Fancy Feast, and she ate it. So I guess she's finally coming around now. She's eating different kinds of food. So she has yeah, she likes the okay, she's in the house. I've got a dogwood tree right off of my deck that she loves to climb. Kiki loves to hunt lizards. I mean, she loves to hunt lizards, and then she'll get them in her mouth and she'll come inside and she's whimpering and she wants to always bring them inside. And of course, that's a big no. No, you're not bringing a lizard inside. We'll just tell her, good girl, but your lizard's not coming inside. She'll hunt lizards. She'll hunt crickets. I don't know. I don't know if she ever hunts mice. I think she got after a chipmunk one time or something like that. Yes, talent on loan from God. Um, Tubbs. That's a good name. Tim reading the notes sometimes. Only 32 of us. I don't know. Butterflies and birds. Yeah, she caught a bird one time. I wasn't happy about that. Yes, that's exactly right, Michael. She's bringing a gift. I'll pat her head and say, "Good girl." That's good. But hey, yeah, we're not having lizard for supper. At least I'm not. Lizard's not coming in the house. Oh my goodness. Well, all right, guys. It's been about an hour, and I think, well, okay, I'm going to skip that ad. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I got stuff I have got to get done, work related. So I'm going to bid you adieu. Thank you all so much for joining me in the live stream. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and make sure that you share the videos on your social media. If you would do that, I would greatly appreciate it. I will give all of you 10 points if you'll do that. Beer Bua, thanks from Ireland. Thank you, Tracy. It's great to see you again. All of you, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking some time out of your Sunday afternoon or night or whenever it is for you. and joining us. I'll be back tomorrow with a new show. Get the week started off. I hope y'all have a great week. I really do. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye now.